Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, and live the life we love. It's Friday, so it's my PowerPoint day, so for all of you who may have missed all those years at the Yoga Circle, this is one of the things I would do to share the Dharma, and having a visual really helps the presentation literacy of this whole thing. So this is called the Quadrated Order, and spirituality by the numbers. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 12, 10, and so forth, projected on nature. But 4 is one that goes well with a lot of different teachings, so I'm going to get into it right now. The 4 stages of life, the ashramas according to the Indian tradition. Brahmacharya, you're first a student, you study with the guru. Shruti Smriti, you listen and then you remember. Then you move out of that stage where now you're in grahastha, the householder stage. You're supposed to settle down, raise a family. And again, even if you don't have a family, the idea is that you step into your adult role and you become a responsible person in your society. Then you have the vanaprastha stage. We would call it retirement. That's where they pass the mantle of power on to the next generation, and you just doing spiritual austerities, getting ready to make the transition toward the end of your life. And then finally, you're in sannyas. You give up everything, just have a begging bowl. All you do is collect alms and rely on the kindness of strangers to keep you going as you prepare yourself to move from life in the body to life without the body. All right, they have the 4 castes as well. The laws of Manu have taught us that there's the Brahmanas, the people who do the religious overview of society and propitiate the deities with their mantras and formulas. Then you have the Kshatriyas. It's not just the warriors, it's the white-collar workers, the administrators, the people that keep the harmony of all the things going, coordinate all the different organizational things that need to be done to make it work for everybody. Then you have the Vaishyas, that's like the mom and pop blue collar workers, the people that have the mercantile trades and the restaurants and stuff like that. And then of course you have the Shudras, the people who are the uneducated, and they do the the grunt work, bust the tables and pick up the pig crap and that kind of stuff. We're not even mentioning the untouchables. That would be like our homeless people. They don't even get a caste. They're shunned by society completely. And that was one of their ways of looking at their society. All right, now yogas, there's 4 yogas. There's the Raja Yoga, where you meditate. And remember, intelligence is in the heart, not the brain. So you focus on your heart chakra and you get a connection to unite you with everyone. There's Jnana Yoga, where you study the scriptures and you go deep into the commentaries by the giants in the field, so you understand a little bit more, because they say God is loved as God is known. So the more you know about it, the more you love the spirit. Then you have Karma Yoga. Krishna reminds you, you got to do your action. You can't deny it, you can't avoid it, but you offer the fruits of the action to me. Better your own dharma done poorly than another's done well. But think of me always, sacrifice to me always, offer even your pain to me, and then you'll see how life goes. And then ultimately there's Bhakti Yoga, the surrender that comes, that's no surrender. And whether it's like on the left, you have Hanuman hugging Ram, who says, when I don't know who I am, I serve you. When I know who I am, I'm one with you. And then you have the other kind of Krishna and the gopis dancing with the Lord under whatever form the person thinks they'll find deity. And then ultimately it's the Sacred Heart of Jesus. It's the same idea. Have you met your personal savior? Have you had your come to Jesus moment? That's the whole idea. All right, then we move on. The 4 abodes of Brahma, called Brahma Vihara. These are the states that the gods and the goddesses hang out in. So they tell you Maitri first, friendliness to all. Then they say Mudita, sympathetic joy. Anybody's having fun, enjoy it, be happy for them. And then there's, well, good, I'm glad you're still there. What happened? Did we lose the other thing? I'm not sure if we did or not. All right. We'll keep on going. Then you have the 4 aims of life. Artha, accumulate, get enough stuff so you're not a parasite. Nature will fulfill your need, but not your greed. Although you'd say, oh yeah, it doesn't stop the corporate capitalist from greedy. Well, this is just a reminder. Get what you need, then you're not so hungry for more. Then after you have what you need, kama, pleasure, enjoy yourself. Yes, we're held accountable for every gift that's permissible for us to enjoy that we don't take advantage of. So sometimes it's the pleasure of touch. But the third one is Dharma. You learn in school how to put everything, all of your desires, on the bridle of Dharma. So you're not doing the path of just the pleasant, but you're doing the path of the good. And then what's the purpose of accumulation or pleasure or Dharma? It's eventually moksha, spiritual liberation. And Shiva, as the Lord of Yoga, is an example of someone who is in the meditative bliss all the time, but has all these different aspects or qualities that help you ground yourself in the world and see Shiva in everything you do. All right, then you move on. The four elements, right? You think about air, fire, earth, water. Each one in its own way is a psychological trait as well. Then you have the four seasons. Spring, summer, fall, and winter. Each one also is a psychological way of preparing yourself to meet what's going on in the world with the changes going on within you mentally and emotionally. Now, in the Native American tradition, there's also the four directions, right? Which is, as Black Elk said, the Great Spirit caused everything in nature to be round. The sun, sky, earth, and moon, all round like a shield, like a bowl. Of course, everything that breathes in some way is reflected in this great circle of life. So therefore, humans should look upon the circle as sacred, because it's the symbol of the connection of all the things in the natural world. So just as the plant is round and has roots, stem, fruits, leaves, and fruits, so the circle marks the edge of the world. And they also call it the four winds, right? Yellow in the east, red in the south, black in the west, white in the north. Really beautiful tradition. And then the four stages of life, right? There's birth, there's growth, adolescence, adulthood, the elder, another four stages. And then we move on from here. The four fixed signs of astrology, right? Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpion the eagle, and Aquarius the angel. Another way of looking at the way the stars incline, but they don't compel. And each one of these signs represents the concentration of the earth energy or fire energy or water energy or air energy. Then you get the four suits of the tarot. It's interesting how the modern deck of the playing cards, the pentacles became diamonds, the cups became hearts, the swords became spades, and the wands became clubs. Beautiful affiliation between the four suits of the playing deck and the tarot. Then you have the four worlds of the Kabbalah. You have the four horsemen of the apocalypse. You have the four feng shui animals of the Chinese Tao. And then you have the royal couple, male and female, or the king and queen, the witch and the wizard. You have the male and female warrior. You have the male and female lovers. And then you have the via positiva, all the things that cause celebration in life. They have the via negativa, all the things that bring you down, the dark side. You have the via creativa. You draw forth from the positive and negative images in your life, and you bring forth from within you. Like it says, God sits on a maternity bed for all eternity, giving birth. We're supposed to be like the image of the Creator, do it ourselves. But ultimately, there's no peace without justice, so the via transformativa is trying to move it along, make it better for everyone, bring as much positive energy to as many people as possible, and have as little suffering to as little amount of people as possible. And ultimately, it leads you to the Fab Four, and I hope that you all enjoy the Beatles and what they represented at the time. Well, that's it for today. I hope that you get what you needed from it, and we'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.